one of the things I think, I guess you could say is a challenge with all that we have going on right now in our world is just how do we effectively communicate? How do we effectively communicate not only with each other, but with the people that we minister to? And, one of the things that we prayed about and asked God to help us with as we started MBF and launched it was how do we create a space for individuals who are gifted or who are desiring to engage with others, like a small group setting or something like that. And how do they do that with Sunday morning or on Sunday morning? How do they do that with the time that they have? A lot of people can't commit to leading a small group. And so Table Shepherds were born out of that desire that we actually have a space where we can give the opportunity to people who have the time and energy to lead a discussion. And so Table Shepherds was born out of that. I think the challenge that we have is how do we be effective at communicating our desire, our vision, at the same time taking into account y'all's desire and y'all's vision for what Table Shepherds could be. And so, we came up at the very beginning with 3 principles that Table Shepherds were built on, and that was, number 1, that you pray before you come. Number 2, that you not only pray, but that you are willing to just facilitate a discussion. And that facilitation can take on many forms. It's asking the right questions. It's engaging people in the conversation that you have there. And I think that's one of the things that we encourage is that it's not necessarily a time to teach at the Table Shepherd or at the table discussion times. It's more time to facilitate discussion. And then the third thing is just to connect people to all things Denton Bible Church. And so whenever I think about an effective Table Shepherd, I think about the couple who comes in, who's willing to sit down with a couple that they see for the first time, maybe showing up to Denton Bible Church or showing up to MBF. They've either brought them or whatever. And they sit down and they introduce them to somebody new. They introduce them, to others at the table. And they see the one person maybe, or the one couple that's just sitting there by themselves, and they find a way to engage in conversation. And then the message begins, and then the discussion begins, and they just try to cultivate an environment where there's conversation that's specific to the message. It's okay if you take different questions, and that's not a problem at all. Actually, those questions are more just a way for you to have an opportunity to keep the conversation going. You may have different questions you want to ask about the message, but you move the message along. You move the conversation along that pertain to the message. And then after that, you're finding ways to connect them to Denton Bible, whether it's lunch that you take them to or introducing them to Brent Bowen with small groups. That's the vision for Table Shepherds that we have. But we want to hear from you. Is that right? Is that the best vision that we could have? So let us know your thoughts and leave them in the comments, and we'll look forward to hearing from you in the future. And again, I want to thank y'all for everything that you do to make this ministry what it is. It's one of those things that you just wonder, how is God going to use people? And it's always been our prayer that God would use the right people at the right time. And it's been neat to see how God has used you. So thank you.